You're listening to Co-operative Multiplayer. The official podcast of the 4-in-1 Game Zone.
Hello and welcome to another Co-operative Multiplayer Live, the official 4-in-1 Game Zone podcast. And I'm your host, Sean Garmer, and with me today is Mr. Marc Morrison. And I realize we've missed a week. It just sucks when, just the retail at this time is horrible. I'm getting out at like 2 in the morning every day. And yeah, it makes it hard to get home and be doing podcasts and hoping Marc is still awake,
Yeah.
So, how have things been going the last couple weeks or so?
Decent. My computer's in the shop right now, though, so I'm on a old laptop.
Which, sometimes those things aren't so bad as long as you don't have to use them for a long time.
Yeah.
I had to go through that where I didn't have a computer. I had to use my old laptop. I had half a screen, and yeah.
Well, this one isn't that bad. It's just kind of it's not like to the point of completely overheating, but it's getting pretty toasty. It's from 2007, so.
Oof. Yeah, so, I'm guessing you have to turn it off from time to time or something to keep it from...
No, it's not that bad, but like you can hear the fan kick in occasionally, or like I just need if I wanted to really mess with it, I could probably just buy a new fan assembly. It's like $13 and apply better thermal paste, and that would probably help out matters quite a bit, but I don't really care that much.
Yeah, right. So do they give you a timetable on your...
No, the problem with my old computer, there's 3 problems. The DVD drive stopped working, like always. It stopped working a few different times. I don't know why. They'll just give me another one. One of the USB ports failed. Like whenever I plug in anything, it just says I can't recognize this device. And it's like, I know this USB drive works. I plugged it into to 3 other ports and it popped up fine.
Right.
And the big problem is the touchpad has 2 rubber buttons for like left and right click, and the left mouse click button like came off.
Yikes!
It has like a rubber pad over it, and that pad like is like peeling away, and it's like, this is not good.
Jeez, I don't know how does that just happen? Like just
overuse probably. Like I use it constantly, so I don't. Everyone is just like, we can hook a mouse up to it. I'm like, I don't have the like desk real estate for a mouse like most of the time, so it's like, no, I can't.
I mean, there are a lot of people that hate those touchpads, and they put in, like, I don't think, it's been so long since I had to use a laptop all the time, that I probably would hook up a mouse to it, but when you're with the laptop too, it's also kind of annoying when you've got the thing there that all you have to do is touch it, and you're having to go over and move your hand, and
you just get used to it after a while, like with anything. So, I mean, I'm used to the touchpad at this point. So, like, I can't play StarCraft with it, but, and just web browsing or, like, just doing, like, simple stuff, it's fine. But when it doesn't work, that's a problem.
Oh, yeah. That's a huge issue, and you don't want... Obviously, you want your stuff to work. So, that's something that hopefully will get fixed, and...
It's done our warranty, so I'm happy.
That's good.
Gotta love Best Buy.
Yeah, that's what was great about Best Buy. You can just go in there, and I need to do that for my... I need to remember to do that for my PS4.
What's wrong with that?
No, just to renew the... No, I think I actually got a 2-year warranty on that thing, so it's good for
so did I.
Year. Yeah.
But my laptop is like over 3 or 4 years old now, so I have to keep going in there every year and like re-upping with them.
See, that's cool. There's not that many places that let you just go, other than like, if you do get the one with Square Trade or whatever online, which they're pretty good, like, to just let you go in there and go, hey, I just want to renew my warranty. Like, a lot of them just say, okay, well, you got the warranty for that amount of time, that's it. Like, if it screws up, then it's on you,
Well, I have my PS3 has a warranty with GameStop, because it's the 60 gigabyte, like, first generation model.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had to renew it, I called a few different GameStops, and I was like, "Do you renew?" And they were like, "No." And then I finally called like one of the ones by my house, and I was like, "Do you renew?" And they were like, "Yeah, just come on in." And I had to bring the unit with me, which is weird because they had to make sure it was working correctly. And I was like, if it was broken, I'd just return it and get another one. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you just go renew a system that doesn't work?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's weird. Why wouldn't they have a company mandate that they renew? Like, that's
yeah. Well, also, like, I can't with them. You can't renew. Basically, what they do is that I trade in my PS3, and I get the same exact model. So, like, the last time I did it, I actually got money back because when I got the warranty in the first place, the warranty was like $35, and now the warranty is like $15. So I got $20 back. And I was like, all right, fine. You guys do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's what I have is used PS3 as well. So, I had to go turn mine in and I had the cool white one. Of course, my mom, she likes to move things around.
Yeah.
And, I'll come into my room and, sometimes stuff won't be where I left it. It makes me pretty angry. And then she will move stuff in the living room a lot. And at one point I had my PS3 in the living room. I do again, but it wasn't even her. It was my uncles came in and started moving stuff. And I guess they weren't very cautious with the things they were moving. And I go to turn it on and I get nothing. And I'm like, oh, that means they broke it. So, yay, I have to go actually return this thing. Thankfully, I have a warranty. I'd be pretty pissed at
Yeah, it's nice that they told you they moved it.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, like, I figured she was going to be moving stuff, but it's just like, be careful with the things you're moving. I mean, those are still $200 to $500 products that I all have in there, and, if I didn't have warranties for them, like, right now my Xbox One, because I bought it at Kmart on layaway, when they had first done the 350, it no longer has a warranty. So, I'm worried about if I wind up moving, I have to be real careful with that thing because it breaks and I'm screwed. So, But, just at least been able to play some games. How about you?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of console games because my PC right now can't handle anything else.
Did you ever get to play those Nova missions or whatever before?
Oh, the StarCraft? I don't even think they're out. Are they?
I think they might have just had them come out this week or something because I got an email from Blizzard saying, "Hey, come play StarCraft 2," and it had all these the quotes from the magazines and whatever or the websites, and then it had like little notes with the stuff with Nova where she has like 9 missions or something like that, and then now one of the Protoss leader you can play as him too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But no, I didn't play that. So, oh well.
Right. You could once your computer works again. So.
Yeah.
But what have you been playing?
I finished Arkham Knight. I beat the story, and then I got all the trophies again on PS4 because I was bored. When my computer was still
essentially beat the game twice now.
Yeah, and it's a lot better playing on the console because I could actually run the game pretty well, and it was a lot easier like getting all the trophies because I still remember where most of them were.
That also helps.
When my computer's still around, I played a little Dragon Quest Heroes. It's the Dynasty Warriors, like Dragon Quest. It's not that bad. It gets a little boring because the missions are all kind of the same. It's either go kill everything or defend this thing. But you can switch between characters. And they play pretty differently, and it's fine. Like it's a lot better than like a Dynasty Warriors game. Because it's also pretty short. Like the missions aren't that long.
Okay.
And I got Just Cause 3 on PC, which my friend had to return because my PC could not handle that game whatsoever. And I just got it again on PS4.
Well, how is it?
It's good. I'm nowhere near like beating it or anything. I just on the main first island, I just like got all the strongholds. I unlocked like the first island. It's a lot better than Just Cause 2, simply because the map tells you what you're missing in like a city or a settlement. Because that was the infuriating thing about the second game was you'd be in a big city and it'd be like, all right, go collect 20 weapon parts in the city, and it's like, I don't know where they are. And your little proximity radar thing sucks ass when trying to like find it. So this actually, if you pop the mini map, it'll just pop up and go, here it is. Go try to find it now.
Well, that's nice.
The gunplay, yeah, the gunplay is better. The wingsuit's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a good game. It has some problems on PS4, like the loading time is pretty insane.
How bad is it?
Well, the problem is it's very variable. Like you can, if you're doing a challenge, you can restart it and it'll take 30 seconds, and then you can restart it again. It'll take 2 minutes. So I don't know what's going on. Like apparently, if you have an SSD installed, it's a lot better. But it's kind of an issue. It's not like the biggest problem, but you know, if you're getting into the flow of the game, you don't want to have to like wait for 3 minutes for the mission to pop up again.
Right, yeah, it's like, and you just, it's almost sort of when you have to install a game and you have to sit there, you're like, oh man, I want to play it so bad, and you gotta wait for it to install and do all that. I mean,
the nice thing though is I bought the game off eBay for $40. I bought like a digital code, and it came with the season pass, which I'm pretty happy about.
Wow, so you got wow, that's pretty awesome. For $40, I guess he just wanted to really get it sold. I mean, is it just really fun going in there and destroying stuff? And
yeah, the only other problem is it's hard to gauge your health because you don't have a health bar. The screen starts dimming out and becoming like black and white when you're like really messed up. But that's not a good enough indicator. Like I want like just a health bar.
Yeah, that seems like they could have just had a health bar. I don't know why they. I guess do they have stuff on the HUD? Is it something where they just didn't want stuff all over the screen, or?
Not really. I mean, they could have a health bar in there, no problem, but they just don't. And
so, do you have the frame rate dips too, or?
Some, I don't really notice it that well because I mean, coming from my PC to this thing, it plays remarkably better. So. It dips occasionally, like when there's like a lot of stuff blowing up, but I mean that's fine. What do you expect, really?
Fair enough.
And doing the like side missions is kind of fun.
Does it have a lot of variety, or is it a lot of the same?
Well, it's a lot of like just races. A lot of races, really. But I really like the wingsuit races because it's basically like, you have to go through a ring, but if you go through the smaller ring, you'll get more points. But if you crash once, you have to like restart. So, and using the wingsuit's just a lot of fun to fly around with. Especially once you get the air brake.
Nice. Well, have you been playing anything else?
No, that's been about it, because no PC means no fun Steam games.
Right.
And I tried Until Dawn for like a minute, but I didn't get into it that much.
I'm surprised. I hear everybody keeps saying that once you get into that thing, it's hard not to keep playing. So.
Well, I just played like the prologue for a second. I have a friend coming over. I want to show him that game because he'd probably really like it instead. So.
All right. Well, I've been able to play a few things since. When I get home, even though I'm really tired, I'm one of those that I'm used to just kind of staying up after work. So I wind up playing a little bit of stuff. I did get to play that Guns Up game, which was free. They put it on the store during a PSX, and it's free to play. It's a very basic strategy game, basically. That's terrible lingo for me, saying basic and basically in the same thing. But it's just, you go through and you just press a button to either release your whatever units you have, and then you're basically like you're watching them, and then you have different little powers that you can press to try to help them kill the enemies. And then as you go through the levels, that increases and you get money to be able to place more units before the... And it's cool because it's like all happens sort of in real time. Like you're placing your units and you're placing your the different buildings that you can make, and then all of a sudden the game will be like, oh, there's people coming. So then it just switches out of that and goes to, okay, well now you got to go fight these people, and then you can go back to building your base and all that. So
it sounds very tower defense like.
Yeah, it's very, very much like that. Except you're having like actual like tanks and other things that your base is like this house-looking thing. It's not, a huge tower or whatever, but it's still the basic same concept. So I mean, it's free. You can go play on your PS4 and decide if you want to play that or not. I play that Indivisible demo thing that they have for that crowdfunded game. It's pretty cool. It's like a platformer and turn-based RPG at the same time. So you're basically platforming with the girl. I forgot her name now. And then when you get into battle with these enemies that show up, you can decide whether you want to hit them first or they hit you, and then it goes into a turn-based RPG and has an active time battle thing and everything. And then you'll eventually I guess the characters just appear randomly in the game, your party members. Like you'll go through some of the platforming, and then when you go to the next screen, this guy will come up and he's part of your party now, and now he's an archer. So then you have her and your archer guy, and then the enemies start getting harder. And I didn't play through the whole demo, but it's pretty decent to me. I mean, for them wanting the money and they still need some of it, the demo that's out there is pretty substantial, I thought. So it kind of makes me want to give them something, because I really enjoyed that. For just, you don't hear too much of platforming RPGs being around, so that's pretty cool. The big game that I did get to play was Yakuza 5. I'm reviewing that, even though I haven't had a ton of time to sit there and play it. I've liked what I have Yakuza 4, and I never played it because I thought, it's these open world games. It's like GTA, I'm going to get lost. I don't know where I'm going. And I think the game actually does a really good job of it. Obviously, it's huge. It's basically like you got like a gaming world of Japan, and like you can go in and play with the pachinko machines, or you can go in and play with they have a name, and they're really popular, the little capture machines. And you can go in there. Yeah. They actually, like the actual brand that's in Japan, they actually have that brand on the machines. And it's like I got a knight's little figure, and I was like, okay, this is cool. It didn't take me too much to get it. Whereas, I'm sure if you actually played with the machine, it would take forever to get the item. But I mean, the fighting is really fun. It's just really fluid. You just these random gang members will come up and you fight them, and you have like special moves that you can unlock. And I kind of like the story of it. I mean, it seems much more like they really put effort into the story with these games, whereas sometimes with some of the GTA games, they really feel like, it's padding for you to just have a reason to be out there doing whatever. And it's a lot. You're also a taxi driver as your main job, so you actually have to drive the car the way you're supposed to drive the car when you take people around. So you actually have to turn the signal on and do all that stuff, and it's kind of weird because you have to be really careful of, like, you can't have sudden stops and all this stuff, so it takes a little while to get to you, but you also get to do races with the Yakuza and everything, so you get some street racing in there too. But yeah, I mean, I think for being a PS3 game, it looks pretty nice too. I know a lot of people probably don't want to go back and play stuff on their PS3 at this point, but if you're into Yakuza and want to play a game for whenever it is that Yakuza 0 comes out, isn't too bad a prospect. Yakuza 5. I'll keep playing and see when I can get that review out, and I think I did pick up that Final Fantasy VII PC port on the PS4 because I don't own another version of it. It's Final Fantasy VII. I mean,
you should have bought it on iOS because that's the true version to play.
Oh yeah. Except my phone could not handle that thing. I mean, it's cool. Like the little cheat. I forgot that. Thank God it has a little logo that shows up when if you would turn one of the cheats on by accident. Because I was sitting there going, I do not want to play this game with the limit breaks and my health restoring after every battle. And I was like, what's that thing on like the side of the screen? Oh, that means I turned on one of the cheats. So like if you press R3, if you press it in R3, you can make it to where basically your health and you have unlimited limit breaks. And you can actually turn off the random encounters completely by pressing in both L3 and R3 if you don't want to have battles at all and you just want to go through the story. Which, I mean, you kind of have to have the other cheat on at the same time, because if you don't battle anything, your stats are going to suck ass. So
yeah, you're not going to level up.
Or that's kind of almost impossible. I mean, it's cool. Obviously there's parts where it's kind of like why you use a repel in Pokemon or something. They do get obnoxious after a while, especially when you're in like some of the longer areas where you're there for a while and you really just don't want to get into battles. You can turn it off seamlessly, so it's not a big deal. I think that's good. Like, I like it when you do stuff like that where for people that have never experienced the game, or if you have experienced the game and you just want to, it's been a long time since I beat this game. I really don't want to sit there and grind for 60 hours. Let me just have like a fast track to beating it, But yeah, I mean, it's Final Fantasy VII, so that's also why when we talk about the remake stuff here, this being out, I think helps me not feel any kind of thing for the stuff with the remake, but we'll talk about that. And Rock Band 4 had their update it took them, the Rock Band 3 export did not come out that Tuesday with the rest of the stuff. It came out, for me at least, on Saturday. I downloaded it on Sunday, finally got to play it yesterday. The Rock Band 3 songs played just fine. Some of them have the freestyle stuff, some of them don't. So, it's the brutal mode thing is totally not for everybody. So if you don't want notes erasing halfway down the highway, you don't have to play that. And yeah, the other stuff is kind of just not really important, honestly. But I'm glad that they're already in January. They have it lined up where they want to have all 3 of the other exports done. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, so let's get into what's my God, so much stuff has happened since the last time we did a podcast. But yesterday, Nintendo had their last Direct of the year, and they announced that Bayonetta is coming to Smash. And you talked about it. You said that you'd like to see Bayonetta, but you didn't think that they would actually put her in.
Yeah, that's when I was wrong.
But I mean, like, do you think that's cool? They put Bayonetta in there, and you can also have her Bayonetta 1 outfit too, so.
Sure, I mean, she'll be a good addition to that character, or to that franchise, because she can fight. I mean, she has guns, she can do melee, and she has, like, that witch time thing, which might be a cool, like, gameplay add-on, so go for it.
Yeah, they released Cloud that day. I still probably gonna wait till later. I mean, it's been a while since I played Smash, and once you play with the character a couple times, the whole thing just kind of goes away. As far as it, oh my god, I'm playing with this character. It becomes another character you're playing in Smash. But they did also announce that the main character in Fire Emblem Fates is also coming to the game. So, good lord, we got 6 Fire Emblem characters now. I mean, that's a lot. I think, isn't that like the most? I think probably only Pokemon rivals.
Or Mario.
Yeah, or Mario as far as how many characters are in it, but yeah, that's a lot for a game that I wonder how much of that base is,
Yeah, it's barely in America.
Right? I mean, that's why I wonder, like, how many people that play that game go, oh, well, I really want to play with all these Fire Emblem characters. But yeah, just hey, you got a Geno Mii character costume out of it. That's cool. I mean, the whole character becomes Geno, so that's awesome.
Except he doesn't have the moves, so
it
doesn't matter.
I mean, that's nice that Nintendo knows that people apparently like Geno. So, but again, I should note that the reason why Bayonetta's in the game is because she was the most voted in that poll that Nintendo had. So we'll never know if Nintendo would have actually put her in the game without the poll, I guess. Because you'd think that if they wanted to put her in, they would have put her in by now. But hey, at least they honored the poll and they put her in. I mean, I think it's cool. They're gonna have Tails and Knuckles. I just never use those Mii characters, so I mean that's cool and all, but it's also a way for them to get money unless you just really love those Mii things. That's fine. I mean, a lot of that stuff's coming in February, so I guess be ready for that. And they did confirm that Ryu, Bayonetta, and Cloud all will have amiibos. So, I'm not gonna. I'll just, if Cloud is there and I'm in a GameStop or a Best Buy or something, which actually my Best Buy doesn't even have amiibos anymore. They took the amiibos out completely.
What kind of ghetto Best Buy do you go to?
No, they have all the other stuff. They took the where they have the amiibos. They actually still have that thing where the amiibos are supposed to be, unless they just sold out completely and they didn't have any when I went.
Seems more likely.
Yeah. Like, because they have all the other Nintendo stuff, but I was just like, where's the thing that has the amiibos? It's like gone, because they have yeah, go ahead.
I went to Best Buy about a week ago. I actually picked up an amiibo for a Christmas present for a friend, so, I mean, they still had them.
Yeah, it was weird. Maybe they had them sold out and they just took the whole display away, so people would stop asking about where they were. Because they have obviously a row that's just all Skylanders and all Disney Infinity and all Lego Dimensions, so... but yeah, it just, it is what it is. Hopefully, there are some people speculating that Nintendo might surprise with one more set of DLC for Smash. There's also people that this is supposed to be the end here. What do you think? You think we might get another one, or you think it's the end?
I think it'll probably end because they have to start working on the next one for the NX.
Which I don't think that's going to be a while. So,
well, if it comes out in 2017, they'll probably want a Smash Brothers, like, kind of for a release date or for, launch game.
Really? You think they would make a new one that quick already?
It'll be 2 years, so.
Yeah,
I mean, the framework is already there. It's just a matter of, getting the assets together. But also, like, if they make the new one, like, they could have it be like this one, where they could add in a bunch of DLC characters, so they wouldn't have to release like another one down the road. So, or they could release like a greatest hits version like 4 years from now, when all the DLC characters are just already in it.
True. With whatever the NX is going to be, it'd be interesting if they could already do that. Which they did release a patent information for the Nintendo they're obviously, again, this is a patent. It doesn't mean that it's going to look like this when the system comes out. But it was a patent for a controller that's pretty much an entire screen. Almost like, I guess, if the Vita was even bigger or something. But, I mean, I guess this also could be... It didn't have any buttons. It also only had sticks, the two control sticks. It seemed like it had shoulder buttons. I mean, I guess this could still be a portable system, because if the whole thing is a screen and you could take it with you, but I don't know. I mean, you gotta have buttons, right?
Well, there are 3 problems. 1, buttons are cool. Like, we can all agree on that. 2, the battery life on that thing would be pretty bad, I think, or wouldn't be great, especially for being a portable device. And 3, imagine how fragile that thing might be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you better make an OtterBox for that thing really quick.
Yeah.
A kid drops it, there it goes. And that's the thing. Again, if you're gonna make something like that, Nintendo, they're all about kids. You got to make it kid-proof, and I mean, that might make it. Just, I can't imagine if that really is your system, where that system is a screen. That's also going to be a pretty expensive system.
Yeah, so, especially if it's supposed to use like high-level chips or whatever the hell they said. Like, it'll be next-generation chips or whatever. It's like, no, it won't. It's Nintendo. Don't be crazy.
Yeah. Even if they do, it won't be any more or less than what we already have with PS4 and Xbox One. So
yeah.
I'm not expecting anything out of this world with that, but it just seems like all the signs are pointing to basically it's going to be a set-top box and you can take the thing with you. Let's see if that winds up happening, but it is interesting. I just, for me, the whole buttons thing is weird. Like, I know that people at one point were trying to go away from that, and that was the thing that they didn't want anymore, but just, to me, that's just something you have to have in a controller. You gotta have things you gotta press. Even the Wii had it, so, and they could have totally made that thing complete motion, and they still had the A and B and Z and all that. Speaking of controllers, Pokémon Tournament has a release date in Japan of March 18th, and it has its own controller, which just looks like a huge version of I don't know. It looks like a bigger version of a PS4 or Xbox controller. It's like just really wide, and it has the buttons, and
it kind of looks like the Ouya controller.
Yeah. That's not a good comparison.
Yeah.
But it's a special controller that's apparently $30 if you get it with Pokémon Tournament. So, hey, if you like to have your own controllers for your fighting games, I guess.
People like to have arcade sticks, not controllers, so.
Yeah, this is a bit weird. But, yeah, I mean, it's there if you want it. Speaking of crazy things, though, Hideo Kojima left Konami officially yesterday, and then just right around the next day, it was when I came home, because it's basically 2 in the afternoon in Japan. It was 3 in the morning, and they had a video of Andrew House speaking Japanese really pretty well, and then Hideo Kojima came in, and they announced that Sony will be working with Kojima on whatever his first Kojima Productions project is. I mean, that's a pretty big deal for Sony, right? Like, Microsoft just gets totally bonked on his first game here.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't think Kojima would ever go to Microsoft just because, like, he's a Japan developer, so...
Right.
No. If you still look at the Xbox One sales figures in Japan, it's, like, abysmal.
Well, I mean, Xbox anything in Japan has always been abysmal. So, I mean, it's nothing new, but you'd think maybe he'd want to be dual platform so that he wouldn't miss out on any extra money or whatever from
Yeah, but
America.
there's only 3 places you could really go if you wanted that to be either Activision, Ubisoft, or EA.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to deal with any of those.
Yeah.
So, I mean, well, and are you? What do you? I mean, I'm just trying to think of a game that he obviously can't make Metal Gear Solid anymore. So, like, what kind of game that he would be making? He says that apparently they want to push the boundaries in innovation, and he's going to be making games as long as he lives, apparently. I mean, that's very vague. Obviously, every freaking studio says that they want to push boundaries of innovation or whatnot, but I don't know. You think it's going to be something in Metal Gear Solid mode, or you think he goes in another different direction? Mark? Hello? Uh-oh. I think I might have lost Mark there. Well, that's not good. Well, yeah, so I'm gonna, I guess, move on until hopefully Mark appears again or something. I don't know if maybe the computer messed up on him or something. But, yeah, either way, DICE apparently has begun production on the next Battlefield game. So, that's I'm hopefully that they realize what they did with the previous version, all the problems it had, and make sure that it doesn't have those problems with this game.
Hello?
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. I was
happened.
still talking, but it just didn't pick up.
Yeah, I was like, what?
But I was going back to your old point. He'll make another Metal Gear style type of game, but that's about it.
You don't see him like making I don't know, a platformer or RPG or something.
He'll make another Boktai 2, goddammit.
That would be awesome.
You have to buy this, like the PS4 Sunlight adapter, though.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's what Boktai was cool, but it's like who freaking has a Sunlight? Who can really go out there and buy a Sunlight adapter? All right, whatever, Nintendo. So Banner Saga 2 is coming to the consoles January 12th. I'm kind of excited. I was going to try out Banner Saga. I just never got around to it.
It's a good game.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It was a good game. A lot of people had it as in the running for Game of the Years last year.
Not that good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There was quite a few people that just absolutely loved that game, and they were pimping it for that. And I was like, okay. I mean, I guess.
I guess I like the idea of it more than like the execution because it was kind of weird.
Yeah, doesn't it have like it's sort of like a survival game, but it also has where you're battling and.
Well, it's basically a strategy game mixed with the Oregon Trail.
That actually sounds cool. Yeah, because you can like die of sicknesses and whatever too, right? So.
Yeah, and you have to like worry about. I think it's like food and maybe troops. I'm not quite sure. It's been a while since I played it, but yeah.
Nice. Oh well, that person died of cholera again.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that people are going crazy wanting to buy these Elite controllers?
I mean, not really, because it's, I guess, a luxury item that does help in certain games, like first-person shooters. But, I mean, people are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. Like, everybody kept saying, oh, I'm not going to buy this, $150, and then they apparently can't keep these things in stock. So
yeah, they like sell it instantly. Sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, so much of the people that talk all the time, and they wind up buying those things anyway.
Yep.
It's very much like something we're going to talk about a little bit later. I already pretty much, Harmonix did have an AMA. I pretty much told you the bulk of what they're going to do in that thing. They are bringing back practice mode and the set list, which the set list really should have been in there from the beginning. I don't understand why that wasn't there. It's such a bummer to have to go through quick. I understand that that's kind of what they did with the shows mode, where you end a song and they want you to pick something. That's really like a party mode. Like, it's so annoying. You get all this new DLC, especially with you release this entire thing for Rock Band 3, and I can't make a set list of some of my favorite songs from it. I had to go through and play each song individually, go out back to the menu, press the button again, do all that. Like, when I get to the menu, sometimes I just want to go, okay, I've had enough. Like, the whole thing with the set list is goes, oh, one more song, I'm going to keep playing, So, I just think that was a bad move on their part to take that out, because, especially if you're playing with people, and you make let's say a 20-song set list, you get to like 10, and your friends go, oh man, I'm getting kind of tired, but you're like, hey, we made this thing, we got like 10 more to go. Like, okay, if you go back to the menu, they'll just be like, okay, I'm leaving, So, that's bad on Harmonix's part, but, again, it's good that they're updating stuff. It's, at least they're holding themselves to their word that they made, that they're continuing to make stuff for it. Hey, Star Citizen apparently has more than 100 million in crowdfunding now.
Yeesh.
That they better make this game. That's a hell of a lot to not make the game if you've already got 100 million out there. But I mean, this Alpha 2.0 apparently brought in the first-person shooter thing and all that. Are you at all interested in playing this game, or?
Not at all. Like, it's going to go on for so long that it'll never beat expectations, or meet them at least. Like, whatsoever.
I just can't imagine there's going to be stuff that they're going to say that they were going to do that they couldn't get in there, and some of it can't be all perfect. It's going to be too good to be true for all the money that they put in there. So just hopefully that guy that apparently sued him or whatever doesn't have any way to go, hey, look, you didn't put this in there. Now my lawsuit is correct or whatever.
I think they refunded that idiot his money, so screw him.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's really all they could do. I mean, what are they going to do? The guy can complain all he wants to, but they are using it, and they have made a build people can play, so it's not like that money just went to complete waste. Like was it that Shadows of the Eternal whatever game? That never came out. And they basically... Did they wind up ever just refunding the people the money, or would they... Or they just take all the money? You there? Oh. Looks like we're having mic problems for...
You got me?
Yeah.
Sorry. They took all the money like always.
Gotta love that. So, you excited about Turok coming to the Steam? The remastered version?
Because Turok sucks. Like, it's fun to play for 5 minutes when you just shoot a guy in the head and, like, it explodes, or you get, like, the mini nuke and you fight the T-Rex with it, but, like, that game was never good.
I also remember it getting more love than it really deserved. Yeah.
It's more of a platformer than, like, a shooter, really.
See, I don't remember that part. I guess I didn't play it long enough, but...
Yeah.
What is he... He jumps around and stuff more than he shoots?
Well, like, there are, like, side missions, or, like, little secret areas, and they're just, like, if you step off the path, you die instantly. And it's like, this is fun.
Wow.
Also, that game is like ridiculously convoluted and kind of difficult.
Well, people like difficult games now, so that shouldn't be an issue. But
yeah, we'll see.
Hey, are you gonna get Rise of the Tomb Raider for the PC?
I hope so. If I won't
January
run that,
29th.
but yeah, if I'll send it, I'll hopefully request a review copy, and we'll get denied.
Yeah. You never know. Never know. You might get the okay on that from Crystal Dynamics. Usually Square's actually pretty good about sending out
Yeah, I'm surprised I got Dragon Age or Dragon Quest. Since I'm supposed to review that, but with no computer, that might be a challenge.
Yeah. Probably an issue. So, have you seen this thing about this this right to game deal from Twin Galaxies? Their goal is to supposedly popularize the notion that avid gaming is okay and it's socially acceptable and that people should be more understanding about it. I mean,
isn't gaming already kind of a big deal?
Yeah, I mean, like, I get it that it got some negative press after Gamergate and all that stuff, but I don't see people going, oh, I'm going to return my PS4 and my Xbox One, and I'm not going to play games on my PC anymore because of that happened. Like, I mean, what? Like, you want people to be praising the fact that you played games for 10 hours? I mean, I don't understand what they want to do here.
The other problem is it's like another stupid social network. It's like people want less of those, not more.
I mean, I don't know. They keep making apps, and people keep. I mean, like I can barely keep up with Twitter and like Facebook, and I've never used Instagram. Apparently, that's a thing. I know what it is. Just I was like, why do I need an app that just posts pictures? I mean, I don't understand. And then there's like Snapchat, which is basically like Skype in another way, and it's just like, God, how many social media platforms do we really need to have? I mean, like, honestly, it's annoying. So how can you keep? I mean, this is why people are just stuck in their phones. How do you have time for anything if you're going to like 5 different social media platforms, and that's just the ones I know, and I mean that's including the Periscope thing, and going and talking and typing the same things over and over. Like, it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me. But this is this generation's humanity, I guess. The other thing too is like, doesn't Twin Galaxies, like the guy that owns it, has a lot of money? Like, why is he asking for $250,000 and just not funding it himself? I mean,
he might be funding it partially, but yeah, it's another issue.
I'm thinking he's got all these celebrities like, Stan Lee and Jamie Lee Curtis of, game makers are in this. Apparently there's, according to their newest Indiegogo post, apparently there's gaming people that do want to help with this. I mean, if you can, I don't know.
They can get Cliffy B to do it.
Wouldn't be surprised if Cliffy B actually winds up getting, if they're trying to sort of turn this into like another G4, I guess I'm down with it. But if it's all about just having gamers playing games the whole time, I don't really care. We already have that with Twitch.
I'm pretty against that comparison because I hated G4. Unless they get back Ninja Warrior, then I'm okay with it.
Well, I mean, I hated G4. I liked G4 when it first started, when it was really all about games. When it became,
the Cops Network.
The Cops Network, and it was basically, all we have is X-Play and Attack of the Show sometimes that talk about games, and everything else is whatever. Yeah, but I mean, if it's online, then they don't really have to necessarily cartel to, care about ratings and all that stuff. So, who knows? But yeah, I mean, it's just, it's interesting. I just have a feeling it's not going to turn out the way they wanted to.
well, it'll either it succeeds and it's a failure, or it's just a failure.
Nice way of putting it. And also Super Mario Galaxy, the original, the number 2 is already on the eShop. Number 1 will also be heading to the eShop pretty soon here.
That's a good game.
Yes, it is a great game. So there was 2 big things that happened last week that we had all intentions of talking about, but we couldn't figure out a time that worked for the
podcast. Either I didn't.
Yes, exactly. Because I go to bed at 4 in the morning and then I can't get up and whatever. So
you're weak.
Yes, weak man. Go on, hate me. So there was, of course, the Game Awards, and there was a few announcements from it. I mean, it wasn't anything like groundbreaking. Some of the reveals are kind of just whatever. I mean, obviously, the most important one for you was the Shadow Complex Remastered.
Yep.
Available right now on the PC. You can get it in consoles 2016.
So I played it a little. The game itself runs fine. The launcher sucks.
Why?
It was eating up 15% of my CPU.
Jeez.
I was like, wait, this is the launcher. Like, what does it matter?
You think that ever comes to just Steam, or you think it's always
I hope so, because, I mean, I would pay for it if it just came to Steam,
Right.
So, here's $15. I'll buy it later. Because it ran actually pretty well, but, they just want people to hook into their, Epic launcher so they can hopefully get, Unreal Tournament popular again and that Fortnite crap, or what did they announce for PSX? They announced they announced some MOBA thing. I forget what it was called.
Oh, Paragon.
Yeah. But that's what they want to do. They want to be like Blizzard with their Blizzard launcher. It's like, no, we don't need more launchers. We need less of them.
Yeah, I mean, the Blizzard launcher is what it is because it's been around for ever, and that thing also doesn't take up 15% of your CPU either.
But companies don't like that. Steam takes a 30% cut on games.
Right.
And it's fine, it's fine, but you also make over 30% more in sales because it's on a platform people like. So
yeah, people see it, it goes on sale, people buy it. Do
the math, yeah.
Being on Steam helps so much. Then, we got to go to this website. Oh, and it only plays off this website, by the way.
Yeah.
And just that seems really annoying. But
also, Psychonauts 2. That was cool.
Yes, Psychonauts 2, my God. Awesomeness of all kinds. I hope that that must mean that you got to make Psychonauts 2 one of your PS2, PS4 games then, because, you're going to want people to play the first one. So, I'm assuming that's going to be one of those you don't have to. That's another thing that Sony is out there on Twitter saying, give us your wish list for PS2 games on the PS4. I'm assuming that's going to be one of those that they don't have to do that for.
My wish list gets cheaper.
They did release Rapper Rapper 2 for $2 or for $10, so it doesn't mean that all of them are going to be $15. I think honestly, for what they did to the games, $5 more is not bad. It was $10 if you get it on the PS3 for having full HD and trophies and all that stuff. I think it's worth the $5 extra.
You're part of the problem.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, they did stuff to it. The Final Fantasy VII PC port, I don't think that necessarily should be $15. It's still a PS1 game, and all you did to it was add trophies, I guess, if they had fully... Did they fully upres that, too?
No.
For the PC?
It's upres a little, but not much, because you can't really do much with that game.
Yeah, because, I noticed that, basically the text is clearer and the.
But at least they added coach to that game. I mean, that's something.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I only got it for 10, so because they had it on sale, so it don't matter to me. But it's whatever it is. It just I'm also excited for the Batman Telltale game because the cool thing about Telltale is they could take something that we don't see a lot of in Batman and make that a story that you care about all of a sudden.
Press X to punch bad guy.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they do the combat in that game, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted Shaq Fu 2 after I saw it.
It's not a fighting game, so what's the point?
I like that it's not a fighting game. I don't really care for fighting games. So.
Hopefully it comes with another Shaq Fu album, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we need. We need more Shaq music in there. In fact, apparently everybody got a free copy of Shaq Fu 1 under their seats. Even.
I thought that was a joke, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that probably was a joke. That'd be hilarious if it was. Like, hey, right now, go get. Wasn't that like on a Genesis or something? How the hell would you? Play
Genesis, SNES.
Yeah, so.
We'll hook up a SNES and play Shaq Fu.
Yeah, just go get it on an emulator. Don't go buy a Genesis. Hey, Rocket League coming to Xbox One. I already have it for the PS4, so personally I don't care. But that's awesome that Xbox One you will be able to play a terrific game like that. Rock Band VR coming to the Oculus.
That looked pretty bad.
Yeah, it looked really bad to me.
It looked like Guitar Hero, actually.
Not even just that, just it didn't look that great. I mean, I don't know that I just don't care about the whole like making me feel like I'm just the one. Basically, you're doing the same thing. You just got a thing on that makes you feel like you're in the concert instead of watching it on your TV. I don't really see the big appeal of it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess. They wanted something to go out there and show, and Rock Band's sort of recent, so I guess go them.
I'm surprised they're not making like an Amplitude VR instead.
Now that would be awesome. I would so go for that. Well, speaking of PlayStation Experience had a few better things on it. Apparently there's going to be so are you down with the whole having choices in Uncharted 4?
I guess sure. I mean, it doesn't really bother me at all.
I mean, I think that's cool that they let you pretty much decide what you thought was the most important part of the story. And that's fine, like where you want to start telling your story to the brother, and let's see if there's more choices. I don't think it's a whole lot, and I think they kind of confirmed that it wasn't going to be like, we're not all of a sudden getting Uncharted the Telltale game. It's only a couple of times. So, I mean, I guess that's neat for if they make something else with Uncharted, yeah.
It'll be, who do you want to sex down? Chloe, Elena, or Sully? And everyone will pick Sully.
Yeah. So, there's what is it? There's that Call of Duty. They did a lot of stuff with Battlefront and Call of Duty, which no one cared about.
Yep.
Fang got revealed as that last Street Fighter V character, which he looks kind of cool. There's a Dead Star game that you can play a demo of right now if you want. The Adult Swim games I thought was kind of cool. Like, it's cool that those kind of games are coming. Wonder what the cost is going to be. And then...
They aren't a bad publisher, honestly.
No, I mean, the games looked pretty decent, honestly. I never played any of them, but they looked
I played I have one of their iOS games. I think it's like Monsters Ate My Condo or something like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Nice. I mean, yeah, like the gameplay didn't look too bad, so I'd be pretty interested in what they have. We're gonna get the full trifecta of Tim Schafer games with Full Throttle Remastered coming to the PS4 and PC. The Full Throttle is the one I've never played, so that's cool for me to be able to play that finally. I'm so excited for Day of the Tentacle coming out soon, right? I forgot if they revealed the release date for it or.
I don't think so, but
I mean, it looks a lot like the game. I mean, pretty much looks like they recreated the game just for PS4 and new PCs, so totally fine with that. And they're gonna have I don't know if this is the greatest idea to have a Psychonauts in between 1 and 2 game for PlayStation VR, but hopefully it's not one of those where you really have to play it to understand things, because if they're really going to be pricing the VR as a separate system, most people are not going to buy those things.
That's a bad idea. But their worser idea was drumming up support for a Brutal Legends 2, or seeing if people would be interested in that. It's like, no one is interested in that.
I love Brutal Legends.
No one is interested in that besides you and Jack Black, Tim Schafer. I'm sorry.
I don't know about that. You got to get it into the you got to find the people that. The problem is finding the people that played the game back then, or like you have to get it into like the metal community and get them to.
No, I played that.
I love the running around in the car and all that stuff. You went blank again. The strategy game part of the game was terrible. I don't know why that ever got put in there, why he ever thought that was a good idea. Just to me, that makes no sense whatsoever. Like, you already had a good battling mechanic. You had the cool thing with, you got to fight with the car in that one level. I mean, I don't understand why the strategy game crap had to be put in there, because it just wasn't good.
It should have been like a no time, but with metal, and it wasn't. And that's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought it was going to be, and then it was for like half the game, and the other half was all those strategy missions, and it was like, oh, come on.
Ever play a game called Sacrifice on the PC?
No.
It's about 15 years old. It's the same game.
Really?
And that was a cool game back then, because it was pretty novel, and it was on PC where strategy games make sense. But on the console, it's like, no, this doesn't work at all. I'm sorry.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, they did like announce some other, like Zodiac Arcanon Odyssey looks cool. It's a turn-based RPG with a cool art style. The Don't Starve Together, which I guess is Don't Starve with 2 people.
Yeah, it's multiplayer, I think, or co-op or something like that.
King of Fighters is back. Neo kind of looks like Onimusha with Dark Souls.
I thought it looked a lot like Tenchu.
That's possible too, but I think it has a lot more action than Tenchu.
Yeah, probably.
Brutal looks awesome. I want to play that game. Basically like Gauntlet with ASC2 graphics. Graphical, look. Not that it has the ASC2 graphics, because that'd be bad. And then, of course, my favorite thing. I'm not skipping this thing that we have to talk about on purpose. Just that's going to be its own thing, because obviously you could have a whole podcast about that. But Ni no Kuni 2. I love Ni no Kuni. I love Studio Ghibli, so like having a Ni no Kuni 2, I never thought we'd get one of those. That's awesome that we're getting another one.
Aren't Studio Ghibli not a part of it though?
Yeah, they're not. I think they're sort of keeping the art style, but it's not going to be them doing it, which is fine. I mean,
you know what that trailer needed more of is Mr. Drippy.
Yes, definitely. I was missing Mr. Drippy in there, but hopefully he makes an appearance.
Well, they've shown like pictures with him in it, so you get that. I guess I liked the idea of Ni no Kuni, but the battle system was insane when I played it.
Yeah, the battle system was a little...
It's just very wonky, and like, you didn't... I wanted to just have direct control, but you never really got that, I don't think.
Yeah. No, you don't. And that's the one issue. But I got used to it, so, and then I also was kind of just enamored with the world, so I was willing to like kind of put that aside. But
yeah, I played it up until it became like a Pokemon game, and then that was kind of like where I shut it off.
We'll see.
Like, don't get me wrong, I like that idea a lot, but just the battle system kept screwing with me, and I'm just like, this is very hard.
That's fair enough. I mean, I'm glad that Hobbs coming to the PS4. That's cool because that game interests me. Then they announced all the VR stuff, which they have like the Eagle flight where you're basically an eagle flying around.
In Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, in Assassin's Creed, the modern zombie taxi. Which
that looked bad.
It looked bad. It was funny. It looked bad. The Golem game, which looks interesting. The only thing I will say is, like, at least PlayStation understands that, unlike the Vive and the Oculus, not good. Okay. Skype is apparently being a butt right now.
Are you there?
You back? Yeah. I don't know what happened.
It sounded like you dropped out, and then it kept like trying to recall you.
Yeah, it did. It tried to keep getting the call back, and then I was like, "What the hell?" And then it stopped the recording. It stopped everything. So now we're back.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean the 100-foot robot golf thing was hilarious. That's just one of those like crazy things Sony does, and you're like, okay.
They needed another Katamari game there. Not kidding. I would have loved another Katamari game.
Right. But yeah, so the Ace Combat 7, I think, is going to be the thing that will help the VR if they can really get that to work.
Yeah, that looked pretty decent.
So how do you feel about basically they come out with the fact that they're not going to make any more expansions for Destiny? They're just going to have these event racing things, or event things, like the Halloween thing, or like the Sparrow Racing, which apparently Sparrow Racing's not that great. Instead of having expansions.
Oh, they need to get to work on Destiny too, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And then, of course, they ended it with freaking Paragon, which...
That was like a wet fart in the theater. It was great.
I was like, you gotta be kidding. You're gonna end with another MOBA. I mean, like, how many of these are... I just don't think that there's gonna be one. I think Smite got kind of close, but I just don't think that there's gonna be one that's gonna be able to compete with Dota and...
League?
Yeah, and League and all that. Just, I mean, Heroes of the Storm, obviously, but just, you know, at some point, just move on. I think we've got more of them delayed than we have anything else.
It's like with MMOs 10 years ago when WoW came out. Like, everyone rushes to make a WoW clone, and most of them fail. And it's like, yeah, what'd you expect?
Right. Well, I guess we have to talk. Oh, first of all, how did you feel about the conference, or the keynote, I guess, in general? I mean, I thought it went fine, but it's just like there was a lot. I thought they left stuff on the table.
Like, I liked Res 2 a lot.
Yeah, I liked Res. I liked the Res. Even the Res VR thing seems cool and all that, but it just like all the announcements, they just seem to be missing something, like at least something bigger. Um, I don't know, like, and then you have Sean Layden come out in a Crash Bandicoot shirt, and I don't know why, because that was nothing.
It didn't feel like there were any like AAA games there, I would say, except for the obvious one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, to me, shouldn't you have a Sony AAA like ready to announce if you're gonna have something called PlayStation Experience? I mean, that's what they did last year, and they had Street Fighter, and I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. To me, I felt it was a little underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, it got some releases out there, but nothing like that made people like want to rush out and go buy a PS4, I would say.
Right. There's nothing that you're watching that you're going. I mean, I know they already had the sales pretty much going because it's holidays and everything, but I mean, the biggest thing was that, and it didn't even happen at the conference. It was announced like at, I want to say, almost midnight on Sunday or 2 in the morning on Sunday. Stuff started coming out about the fact that Final Fantasy VII Remake is now going to be episodic. Now, they officially have never used the word episodic. Basically, that it's just going to come out in 3 parts. The most logical thing would be to split the game where the discs split. I don't think that that's necessarily what they're going to do because they're supposedly adding in content.
I don't think they could do that because I think that first disc would be too much. And also, the third disc of Final Fantasy is kind of worthless.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. But, I mean, there was a huge... I think it's not necessarily that... I know there's a lot of people that, okay, they just hate everything. And, that's what it is. People hate everything. But I think a lot of it's more about people just being confused as to what this is. Them coming out and saying that each portion of it will basically have so much content that it's going to be a full game. They have not officially said they're going to charge you $60 for each one, but I can imagine that it's going to be anywhere from $40 to $60.
Well, there are 2 ways you could take that. I think I joked with you, or I joked online, that each episode is going to be like, episode 1 is Crisis Core, the PSP game, and episode 2 will just be like that Before Crisis movie, and it go on, and episode 3 will just be Final Fantasy VII all together. That's one way. That's a joke. The other joke is it'll be 9 episodes, and every episode will be from a different character's perspective.
Yeah. Not having it. I think I don't think people freaking out that it's going to be Barrett remembers that and all that stuff. It's
like,
not
imagine
happening. Yeah, go ahead.
If you go back and play Final Fantasy VII, when you're walking around Midgar, you never walk around it. It's essentially 8 screens. Like, if they actually give you a Midgar, you can actually like walk around and it's like a city. That's a good deal. Or
yeah,
you have a ton of freedom in the open world of Final Fantasy VII, but in cities you never do, and people forget that.
Yeah, exactly. You're totally right in that. You only have a lot of the city is blocked off itself. Like, you go in, and it's very much like old RPGs where you can go do stuff. You can go into people's houses and go get the weapons and the items, but like you said, it's just a couple of screens that you go to, and I'm supposed to do something in the city, so you go to that screen, and you go in there, and whatever. When you get on the overworld, which that's not going to be in the game, I think anybody that understands how gaming has evolved There's no overworld map. If you're mad about the fact there not being an overworld map, I don't know how to.
I disagree. I think there will be an overworld map because how else do you get to those places? A chocobo?
I think it'll be more like Final Fantasy 15 in that
you drive a car?
It'll be there. It's not overworld. It'll be just it's all seamless. Like you'll see it and you'll go there, and I mean, obviously you're going to explore. But that's not an overworld map to me. To me, like overworld map is where you go to another screen and you're seeing things from a top-down perspective, and it'll be much more like you get in Skyrim or other things like that, where okay, you're going to go to this place, and you just have to find it on your map and you go to it. And it doesn't ever change the look of it, you know. But I do like the fact that, how did you like the battle system that they showed off in that trailer?
It looked a lot like Final Fantasy 15. Like, exactly like it, actually.
I think it looks a lot like Crisis Core in a way, too, where it has the ATB gauge.
In that case, it needs a slot machine.
But I think it's more like you still have the commands, but you're actually going out there and attacking. Whereas
it looks like Final Fantasy typo.
Yeah, maybe more like that. Which, I mean, they also let you switch between the characters, which is cool too. It's not just you controlling Cloud the whole time. So it is still where you can switch around between the characters. I mean, we talked about this. They have to update the battle system. It's just they're not going to make it that turn-based style anymore. That's really old, and it only works for certain games. And that's the thing. Like, they released that PS4 version. You want to play the game the way it was, there it is. I don't really have a problem with what they're doing here. I do believe them in the sense that if you want to be able to play this game before 2020, they're going to have to do this. I would not be surprised at all if we get Final Fantasy 15 next year, and then by the end of 2016, we're playing the first edition or early 2017, we're playing the first game of this. And then, it's coming out before Kingdom Hearts 3, I'll tell you that much. So, I don't know, what do you think? I mean, they already have a lot of gameplay for if that's going to take them forever to make this. I mean,
yeah, but all the gameplay they showed was literally the first 10 minutes of the game.
I know, but I think that's what that's going to be. I think the first disc is going to be all Midgar. And then and maybe they add in stuff to not only let you explore Midgar, but they add in things that you do in Midgar.
You can explore every floor of the Shinra building.
Yeah. True. I mean, they did say they're going to add stuff. They could possibly remove stuff. They are going to still have the cross-dressing thing, which, I think that's one of those things I don't think you can take out at all. But to me, I think people are making a bigger deal out of it than it is. And there's still a lot we need to know. We always need to know how much the stuff's going to cost, how they're breaking it up exactly, what are they adding, is it going to make it better? So there's still quite a few things that they have to put in there and explain to us. The
most important question is, how big is Tifa's chest going to be?
I think Advent Children already answered that question for you. I'm assuming.
In that case, I'm depressed.
I'm assuming, yeah, they're gonna make that much more proportional. I mean, I like the way Cloud looks. I thought Barrett looked awesome. I'm assuming Barrett's not going to be as stereotypical as he is in the original, which that's a problem because of apparently they didn't have Americans work on the translation. So, you know, the Japanese people just thought that that's how.
As long as Lance Bass is still Sephiroth, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I don't think so. Wow. But yeah, I mean, look, we could probably do a whole podcast on the whole Final Fantasy VII Remake, but we don't have time for that. But I mean, there's a few other things I think that are worth noting here. Final Fantasy VI is out today on PC. If you have never played that or want to play the remastered version of it, there you go. I should know. I think Mystery Science Theater broke records for Kickstarter, and nobody met their They went over 5 million, so they're making all 12 episodes. So,
yep.
There you go. That's happening. Are you gonna watch any of them, or?
Probably not, but I never watched it. I watched it before, so not a big change to me.
Same thing, yeah. I've never watched them, but I don't know. Maybe I might watch one just to see. Microsoft says they are working on making the 360 games available digitally on Xbox One because of obviously the discs being hard to find for some of the games.
Makes sense.
It makes sense to me. Do you think we'll see the PS1 games kind of like the PS2 games? Eventually?
Probably, because that's probably a lot easier to do than PS2 games.
Yeah, especially because there's games where, now that they're doing Final Fantasy, there's going to be this outcry of people that are all of a sudden going to want Final Fantasy VIII Remake, please.
Please no. God, no.
They can't do that for all of them. As much as I'd love a Final Fantasy IX Remake, I'd be totally fine if they just give me an up-res version on the
I'd just be
PS4.
happy with a Crisis Core on PC.
Yes, that would be great. I'd love that, to not have to...
load up some bootsy-ass emulator to play it.
Yeah, exactly, because, who really has a PSP at this point? Let alone can find the game if you got a Vita. I mean, I guess they have it... Do they have it in the store for you to buy? Digitally?
Maybe not. I doubt it.
So, yeah, if they didn't even have it in the store for you to buy digitally, then...
I actually had that game, though.
Nice.
A friend of mine sent me, all of her PSP crap, and she sent me that and, 4 other games.
Oh, awesome. See, there you go. You do have one person that has the game. System Shock 3 is coming out. Did you play the other System Shock games, or?
I reviewed System Shock 2. I don't remember a ton about it. It's pretty hard to go back to, and none of the people that were involved in that game will be working on System Shock 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that they're making it. It seems like should have been made it forever ago. But I think after they made the enhanced editions or whatever, all these people all of a sudden wanted to really play System Shock 2. So they said, okay, well, I think other side had to go buy the System Shock license from some guy in Minnesota or something.
I thought it was an insurance company in Michigan.
Yeah, some kind of insurance. Yeah, so I guess now that they went through and bought it, why not? I mean, we were talking about old games, and Sean Layden doing the thing with Crash. Do we ever think that Sony might try to buy Crash again from Activision, or?
They may just want too much money for it, which is insane because it's not like they're going to do anything with it.
Oh, but Sony? They'll do something with it.
I meant Activision.
Yeah,
they're going to make another Crash game.
Yeah, I just don't see the point, of them keeping it if you're not going to use it,
Because companies always do that. Look at Disney, for God's sakes.
Oh, well, yeah. But Disney has so much, they I mean, they probably have the money to put all of their freaking things they've ever made into some kind of production for something new, but I mean, that's just asking for a lot at that point. Hey, you can go pre-order the XCOM 2 digital edition right now. So, yeah.
I'll run out and do that.
Oh, wait, did you like XCOM or?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna like XCOM 2 that much, because they're taking out gamepad support, and that was a really good thing about the first one.
Oh, that's dumb. If you're not even gonna have it on the consoles, what? I guess that also goes back to their it's only for PC thing, because if they had gamepad support, then people were gonna be like, oh, why couldn't you bring it to console? Blah blah, So I get it, but yeah, since they've supported gamepads with the PCs, it's so hard for me to play unless it's a certain game like that only supports the mouse and keyboard. It's hard to play it without the gamepad, honestly, right now.
Yeah.
Don't understand that point, but yeah. Hey, you can finally get Minecraft on the Wii U, everybody. If for some reason you've been waiting for that Wii U version of it, it's out tomorrow for $30. So,
it's funny that Microsoft owns the Minecraft franchise.
I think it's funny that it took them that long to make the Wii U version of it, but whatever. I mean, we are getting a Resident Evil 0 remake is coming out in January for $20.
I'll be interested in that.
Yeah, I know you will because you like the other Resident Evil HD thing.
I never played Resident Evil 0 though, so I just know you can character switch kind of at the press of a button. That's about it.
I'm excited that Gone Home is coming to Xbox One and PS4 in January as well, January 12th. So that's cool for people that never got to play the game on PC. I mean, it's literally 2 hours, but it's it's worth it for what you get to do in there. And then Trine 3 is coming to PS4. So yeah, I mean,
it's not a bad game. It's too expensive, but it's not a bad game.
True. That really should be lower on the totem pole as far as how much it costs. So we talked about the fact that they had a writer's room with G.I. Joe and Micronauts and all this stuff, and now there is going to be a shared universe between G.I. Joe, Micronauts, Visionaries, ROM, and Mask. I don't remember anyone ever asking for any of these to have movies, but okay. What do you think? Oh man, damn microphone problems.
I said I don't care about any of those.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, Transformers, whatever, but
when are they going to do the Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover now?
Oh man, I would go for that.
Did you see that Turtles trailer?
Yes, it looks awesome.
Needs more Sheamus. Like with anything in real life.
Right, exactly. We need so much more Sheamus than Roman Reigns.
The only thing I didn't like with the Turtles trailer was that Megan Fox shot. It's no, this is pandering beyond all belief.
Oh, she's not in anything else. They're going to do something like that.
Well, she can't act, so that's all she has going for her.
Yeah, I mean...
When she hits 35, it's going to be game over for her.
Oh, boy, yeah. Talk about that. Oof. So, apparently Netflix... I didn't even know this. I didn't even notice that this apparently happens. Unless you watch Netflix in Internet Explorer, Safari, or Microsoft Edge, that it's not in 1080p. But Okay.
People get way too hung up on 1080p versus 720p.
I know. I really can't even. I can tell the difference when I'm watching a Blu-ray, but that's about it. Like I can't tell the difference on almost anything else.
Yeah.
Netflix has like a ton of freaking shows that are coming out, and I think they just released the Adam Sandler movie, the first movie that he has with them.
I'm sure that'll be great.
So you can go check that out, I guess. And Dark Tower, finally, the movie might have found the two leads. They have Idris Elba's probably going to play the main character, and Roland, and Matthew McConaughey might play the villain. Actually, I think I might really be interested. Because Idris Elba is awesome. And, yeah. And, hey, Matthew McConaughey being an asshole, he actually does pretty well in that role, usually. So, I don't know. I mean, are you interested in the...
I never read the Dark Tower, so I know it's like incredibly long.
Oh, if you start with The Stand, which apparently really started Dark Tower,
I read that. That's about it. But
I still need to get through that. It's just so freaking long.
It's only 1,000 pages.
God. Yeah, exactly.
Then you can go watch the movie based on it.
Oh boy, yeah, the bad movie based on it.
No, it's actually. I mean, it's an ABC miniseries, but what do you expect? It's fine for what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it could be worse. So Hunger Games, they might even make prequels for those movies now. At some point, doesn't it just get...
That works so well for Lord of the Rings.
Or Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, can't we just end something anymore?
Not when there's still money to be made. Like with your next story.
Yes. Oh, you mean Lion Guard?
Yep.
I don't have a problem with that because there's a new generation of children who have no idea what Lion King is.
Exactly. And like, why are they going to watch this?
Because it's animals. Like, I know if I show it to my daughter,
yeah, but that's not indicative of the quality. That's just indicative of people liking talking animals. Like, it could be two rats talking to each other, and then people would be fine.
I know, but it's good. Like, I like the movie or the little comeback thing that they did. The special. I mean, also I have nostalgia for.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's just nostalgia grab all over.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that inherently. We see it all the time. I mean, that's what the Final Fantasy VII Remake is. But I guess why not try to see if you can make any movies out of it if it goes popular enough. But speaking of new things, Frank Miller says he is not happy at all about them using Elektra.
How is Frank Miller not being happy a new thing?
I don't understand. Like, I get that he said he didn't want Elektra used anymore and he killed her off and whatever. And I guess they disrespected him, but
Marvel owns that character, so they can tell him to screw off.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna do whatever they want, So don't understand the whole getting upset about that. But
he's just pissed because they're never gonna make a Sin City 3.
That's also his fault because he takes forever to make the damn movies. So, and then also didn't Sin City 2 not do well at all?
Yeah, it bombed horribly.
Yeah,
I saw it in theaters, but it was like me and my friend, and we were like the only ones. It was like opening night too. It's like this is a problem.
Yeah, that is a big problem. Hey, we could get Kill Bill 3 though, which I'm all for. I love the Kill Bill movies.
Didn't we just talk about never-ending things?
But again, this gave it. The issue is even Jennifer Lawrence came out and said it's too soon for prequels. Let the thing sit for a while. That's what I mean. Like, Kill Bill 2, it's been how long? What, like...
8 years?
At least, yeah, I was going to say 10, but I didn't feel that long. But, yeah, that's a long time, and we're probably not seeing this for another 2 years, if that. So it'll be 10 years, 11 years before we see Kill Bill 3. And he also wanted to do it to let the people grow up. So you have them in that time frame that it actually has been since we saw the movie, the last one. So I don't have a problem with it, the way he's doing it. But one thing that does make me sad is that I still haven't seen it. I wanted to. The time frame didn't work out for me to do it during Thanksgiving. But The Good Dinosaur being a flop for Pixar, which is technically their first flop ever, aside if you count Bug's Life, but that was their first movie, so or their second movie, technically. But to me, I think the biggest deal with Good Dinosaur was I didn't know it was out. Unless the only reason I know it's out is because I'm in the Disney Movie Club. I get Disney stuff in my email all the time. The marketing for this movie was, they supposedly spent $150 million in marketing. Where the hell did it go? Because there were hardly commercials for this thing. I don't know. Like, why do you think it flopped?
Because you didn't know what the story was, and none of the trailers showed it.
Yeah, they didn't give you anything to be excited about to watch the movie. Like,
that also looked like a really bad, Land Before Time, knockoff.
Yeah, that too. And that's the thing, like, Inside Out was everywhere. Like, you could not stop getting commercials or trailers or anything for Inside Out. Good Dinosaur, nothing. And also Inside Out, they made it really compelling to watch that movie. Like, I wanted to go out and see it the day it came out because it was like one of those, wow, this is like it's a movie for kids, but it's got so much like adult stuff in it and, all these lessons to be learned and stuff. And like, Good Dinosaur just did not get any of that. So, I mean, hopefully they learn their lesson and that's the only one for them. But, I mean, these are the people that are having to make Toy Story 4. So, it is what it is on that front. But, I mean, I think that pretty much ends everything. I don't remember there being, other than the stuff that came out at PSX, I don't remember there being anything groundbreaking that came out.
Not really.
We need to discuss everything that's, now it's January, getting into the next year, where we'll be really talking about games coming out again. So, but I've got your Game of the Year, your Game Awards list. I still got to finish mine out. I've got a few more as well. So it looks like we're going to have an interesting race to see who wins our Game of the Year.
Project Cars all the way.
Certainly Project Cars. That King's Quest Episode 2 came out this week, which that's a good way to look at it with episodic content, the way they're doing King's Quest. That's not a bad way to do episodic stuff that doesn't have to go with each other the way like a Telltale game does. For Square-Enix to look at. That Turok game that I already talked about, the Assassin's Creed Jack the Ripper DLC apparently comes out. Are you getting that?
No, I just don't get season pass. Unless it came with the game, which I don't think it did, then I'm good.
Nah. And of course, the Final Fantasy VI remake on the remaster on the PC.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well,
and next week is a big Steam sale.
Oh yeah, sweetness. Of course, I get paid after Christmas, so I don't know how that's gonna happen. But Yeah, that should be interesting. Square-Enix also has a daily sale going on too.
And they got this stupid mystery box thing.
Yeah, that $90 mystery box, which I want to pay $90 and the games turn out to be shitty.
It'll be Hitman and Just Cause 2 and it's great.
Yeah, probably. All right, well I'm gonna get off here, watch some of that NXT Takeover that's happening right now, and pick up my kid, and then I gotta go to work.
Have fun.
But well, until next week, hopefully we'll be back next week when we're supposed to enjoy playing some games, and see everybody later.
Later.